All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a wonderful day. We had another fascinating day in the markets, and it felt like it was chill, but it really wasn't. If you pull this up on the daily, it was actually, I'll let you make your judgment by looking at that, but there was a lot going on. It felt like the burn one day. There was more data. We got the GDP and the private payrolls. It's smaller sets of data compared to what we're going to get tomorrow, and that's what it feels like we were kind of waiting for, but there was still a reaction. We did not immediately unwind, and right now, there's a lot of weird things going on, whether we're talking about the bonds, the data magically collapsing, the market going from one of the worst months, worst days, breaking these records to now, these are some of the 3 best days and even one of the best days of the year. It's all getting pretty wild here, and now tomorrow we do have data, and the rest of the week in September, it's going to get wild. So I have the breakdown for you. There's a lot we're going to go over. I'm going to talk about a little bit about what happened today. I'm going to give you that. We're just going to speed right through it. Then we're going to talk about the PCE tomorrow, but then really, I just want to give you a little forward-looking insights into the weirdness of the data that we have experienced and really what we got to keep watching for at these next data sets. So I have that. And I got some plays for you. I got washed today, too, on that Outlook. Oh, my goodness. So they didn't get the approval. That was bad. I found some other good plays. Still keeping our head in the game there. But for the most part, I have a specific set I'm watching. We got a lot of other plays. I got out of some of the chips, but we could even talk some trades. So, Chad, what I need from you is a thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open, youtube.com/the stock market. It's free 99. That's it. We're gonna see you there. And you see, I don't know, bro, it's a chill. I'm glad we got a chill day. And you see this jacket, I feel like this is what the PCE would wear. You know what I'm saying? Like if the PCE was personified and didn't have a face, I feel like this is what he'd wear. You know what I know? No? Okay, it's different than the other jacket. Okay, run it, baby.
Walking to the couch, it's the 20 on the legs. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a live, but I still reinvest it. Feel how I feel, then you feel like a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down, hold it.
But right off the bat, ladies and gentlemen, as far as what you had today, it was slow, but it wasn't. We started off with very low volume throughout the day, but somehow we did even better than Monday. You take a look on the daily, I mean, we are up there, and there was just a bunch of various headlines. We heard from the Fed speeding up some of the processes or some of the guidelines towards the regional banks. We heard about Tesla and the Wall Street Journal and the Department of Justice, Apple getting into 3D printers. There was Visa and MasterCard raising prices. China, believe it or not, did not come out with any stimulus. I think they just added on and talked about implementing that big change from yesterday. Remember, they never have done that change except for 2008, which is already a big deal, but that had follow through. There was nothing crazy. There was bad German inflation and then bad inflation in Spain, and that kind of hurt things overseas, but for the most part, this whole like relief and kind of getting ready and anticipating what the data tomorrow is going to bring, that is what everybody has been waiting for and just kind of held up in the meantime. So quite the interesting day, but it was actually a lot. NASDAQ 0.5%, 0.38 on the SPY. The Dow only closed 0.1, but it was actually up at like 0.4, 0.5 at one point. That one was a little bit surprising, but it seems like we actually got our burn one day. Last time I thought this would happen, it was an absolute blowout last week. I think one of these just down days, and then it got even crazier from there. So now tomorrow we get the PCE, and that is going to be the big deal out of all of it. So let's pull up the calendar here, and we could talk about it, but you don't even need the calendar. I mean, just keep it very simple. Tomorrow now, PCE, Friday, non-farms, and ISM. That's all you're going to need. But what you need from this chart is the expectation. So as far as PCE tomorrow, month over month, for core, it's expected to come in at 0.2. For headline, also 0.2. And then year over year, 3.2%. This is all an increase. And then I think even, where's the core PCE headline? I don't know. Where's that at? Where is it? Honestly, I can't find it here on Trading Economics, but it's supposed to be 4.2, much higher. It's very, very interesting. I even went through to the stars and all that. There are other economic calendars. If you search, you can find it out there, but that one was actually interesting. I just went through it. I'm very confused by that, but these are the numbers you need, and this is what we're looking for, but it really is going to come down to the core, looking at the chart. But what I wanted to show you is that even for tomorrow, all of this is expected to go up. So there's an expectation of a small increase, kind of like the GDP today. If it comes in a little lower, people will like that. If it comes in line a little higher, I don't think people will not like it. But the way I'm looking at this, I don't think PCE is as important unless it is a blowout like you saw in the jobs. But I don't think that's going to happen because we've been watching the trend, but we haven't watched blowouts yet, and it's not like the base effects are having that impact just now. So what I think for tomorrow, I think it will cause a reaction. I think it's going to either be a slight miss or a slight beat, borderline in line. If it is a blowout, I'm ready to play and change my opinion on that, but for the most part, I don't think we'll get a a generous reaction, but at the same time, like you saw today, there will be some hesitancy in the fact that tomorrow or the day after Friday, the non-farms in those ISM, that might tell us more. And even if we have a bad PCE tomorrow, if it's not super bad, you can make up for that with a really, really bad or good jobs report. So that's the way I'm looking at tomorrow. That's the main thing. And now what I want to talk about is the jobs, man. So that's the whole point of this. Like everything happening, everything getting weird. What I want to point out to you is a very weird trend, and it is the suddenness of the jobs market now going down. It started yesterday with the JOLTS jobs openings, but today we had the private payrolls. There was also GDP numbers, and those came in below estimates. It's not like it was bad. 2.1 instead of 2.4. That's lower, but much higher than where we were at like October of 2022. So this is where we mean it can't be too bad, but bad enough to where markets and bonds don't get disturbed. That's what we saw. But the private payrolls, this came in like what, 40,000 below. I also think there was a revision. I'm not too sure. I mean, I got revision on my mind. Anyways, but the whole idea here is that now after yesterday, after this, I mean, this was one of the lowest ADPs all year. There's only 2 other points lower, and that's competing with January and March, and not good things were happening around then, more or less. But the whole idea here is that whatever we see, that's why I'm not really caring about PCE, but if the non-farms really comes in low and anything else moving forward, this might be one of the more stickier shoes that we're seeing drop, but essentially you are watching the jobs market now get taken out at the knees, and if this trend continues, this is something we really haven't seen all year. And what I mean by that would be a bad JOLTS, a bad ADP, and then also a bad non-farms. What has been happening this year, and this is why I'm saying it's kind of like sudden, because we really haven't seen this all at once. You're watching the ADP go down as well as the JOLTS and the non-farms. Throughout this year, it would be like 2 of them go down, 1 of them skyrockets, or 2 of them skyrocket, 1 of them goes down, but it hasn't really been a consistent trend all across the board. And if we start seeing that and that picks up this throughout September after Powell, this might be the main thing we got to keep watching out for. We've brought this up at various times, and that's the beauty, I think, of this channel. And all of you have watched for a long time because you see this. It's like, hey, I'm bringing this up. We want to be in the neighborhood as far as timing. Some things may be short-lived. Some things may happen later. Or maybe we're seeing it now and then it goes away. But the whole idea is there's a general concept going on here. And it is just now, one, you're actually watching the jobs go down. But if you're really paying attention, this is a very quick speed and it's very large and it's all of a sudden. So hopefully you see what I'm getting at here, and this is why I'm saying how we wrap up on Friday, and this is why I'm telling you now. It's like we don't know what's happening per se, in the sense that we still need 1 more piece of data on Friday. We still get this PCE, then it's going to be another week or 2, then Powell, and then a whole nother set of all of that. But we got to watch this trend, and that's what's been creating this market, is that it's so slow and there's so much action and up and down. But what we're waiting for, this holding pattern, is this data to finally show what needs to be met to finally move policy, and hopefully Powell doesn't change it by the time everything occurs, or something else doesn't occur that gets in Powell's way. So that's what I have for you today. The jobs market is very important, and if it keeps going like this, we are quickly going to start needing to pay attention even before 2024, but this really will be the plot of 2024. So there's that, but now let us get into the plays. So even with all that being said, I have a couple of plays. We made some moves. I got out of NVIDIA today with a small $50 profit on my 50 shares. It wasn't that bad, but I was down like $3,000 at one point, so that was good. Still got washed. I lost about $7,000 on Outlook. That was the one that we talked about, the PDUFA. I'm not going to really lose any sleep over this one. Why? It's very simple. It happened exactly how it should. They got killed even more because I think it has to do with the wet AMD thing, like we were talking about yesterday. If they get set back, whoever gets this approval, I mean, that's going to be it. So this play is over. I did not sell out of it, and I was talking about it today. Why? They have a CRL response in 30 days, and am I trying to play that? Sure. But the real reason is I'm already lost on it. I think it's over. I plan on selling it, but I said, let me just hold this in the account. We already have some gains. I'm going to just wait towards end of the year and use it as a tax loss sale. Then in the next 30 days, if it goes higher or lower, I only have like $1,000 or $2,000 left, which is still the original position. And that's why I said I'm not losing sleep over this one because it was a normal biotech play. If I kept a smaller size, it really would have been manageable on shares, but I wanted to go big on this one. I really, really did like it. It did not materialize. I mean, thank you, FDA, but in that case, we got to ride it out. That's my plan with it, but we'll see. But I was saying it today, man. Any other wet AMD drugs, I would still be down to play them, and I would still be looking out for it because if they didn't get the approval, whoever does, I do think there is a lot of money to be made on that one. So that's play number one, or the whole recap. As far as play number one, I'm going to give it to you. I got a great play. I added BIDU today. This was part of the news. I forgot to mention this in the beginning, but China announced that they're going to start giving out licenses for AI finally for both manufacturing as well as using it. So BIDU, they announced that they're releasing their Ernie Bot. That's their ChatGPT copier. BIDU is like the Google of China, but now this has been around for like a year, ever since you heard about NVIDIA and ChatGPT, but now China is allowing this to happen. If anything, that was their borderline stimulus news. So it had a pop. I did kind of top ticket. I grabbed 100 shares at 145.60. I only grabbed 100. I played this a lot. Remember, we talked about it before and after earnings. I even flipped it recently. There's been a lot of moves. BIDU has been great with all of it. So I only grabbed 100 shares. Lately, I've been trading it a little bit bigger, but I figured we could work some magic on there. But I really like that news. The only problem I have, there's been a lot of good China news lately, and it was just getting killed, but maybe this is setting up for the bad China news, and they, stimulate, and then we get cut out at the knees, Evergrande, Country Garden, all that. So it's getting kind of tricky, and like we talked about, China's unveiling measures that they haven't done in a while, and if they do that, I mean, that's not usually a good sign. So that's my worry about the play. But otherwise, if there's general hype behind it, there could be some momentum. And what I'm saying is there could be some downside, but generally I wouldn't even mind swinging this for a while. So going to be watching that. That is play number one. Then play number two, they come in a pair because I did the same plays last time. I also grabbed JD. So like I'm saying, this China AI news, I'm worried about China. And like I said, it sucks because if you go look at BIDU or any of the other China names, they've already kind of gone up after doing really bad, but like not bad enough. I mean, the news sounds very awful, more or less, but they weren't back to their lows. So the thing is, some China names have ran. I'm like, I like this news. I don't want to get trapped too hard. So I like BIDU because it's very specific, but then also I went with JD because, well, they're already down and they're near more their lows more so. So I do think there is some downside. I think like $5-6, but for the most part, I think it could be a good play to pair up with BIDU. We did this one last time. I grabbed 300 shares, I think at $33.99. So that's play number two. And then finally, play number three. CRM. I'm very tentative about this. I brought this up last time, I think, on their earnings. I didn't play it. Remember, they are a recovery story like Facebook, and they had good earnings. They raised their guidance. Again, revenue guidance, not so much. EPS profitability, bringing in those clients and the profitability of all of the value that they've created. Again, think Facebook comparison. That's what people liked, and that's what's making it go up. So I get worried about the premium and how much it ran up, but depending on how tomorrow plays out, the data, this could be one of those good post-earnings plays, and then we see what happens. But that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure hydrate, healthy, ready to go. Make sure you post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. And I need you to remember, you're blessed. You're not in it alone, but you're blessed. And even if you are in it alone, you are going to learn how to get through it alone. And what I am saying is you possess talents and abilities, and it's okay to be yourself with that and go and live and feed into that, baby. Yes, that's what I'm telling you. Yes, why? I mean, we had a lot of discussions today, and honestly, why I ended the video, I'm about to run out of memory on my car. I know, rookie mistake, bro, rookie mistake. But Chad, for real, man, bring that peace, love your life, love yourself, and let's go and focus. And at the same time, ups and down, progression and the long term in the side. And don't be afraid to use time and make moves over time. It don't have to happen immediately. But Chad, I love you. God bless you. Drink that water. Stay hydrated. Stay healthy. And that's it. I'm not going to get awkward. I'm on PCE day. I'm a professional. You know what I'm saying? Huh? It's personal consumption index. Actually, it's not even index. It's expenditure. You know? No? Okay. How did that come out? I don't know. Okay, hold on. I'm running out of memory. Oh, no. Not this memory. The memory on the card. All right.